Hey guys, it's Matt from Train Sim Society. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. Week 2 of Season of Reveals dropped today, or at least today as of when I'm recording this. If it goes up tomorrow, then it dropped yesterday. Man, Dovetail is not slowing down. So we've got new route announcements, development updates, and some impressive stuff from third-party teams. So there's a lot to get through. So the big headline this week is Firefly simulations making their debut with the Medway Valley line. This takes you from Strood, which you might recognize from Southeastern High Speed, down through Maidstone and Paddock Wood, and onward to Tunbridge. You're also getting the stretch from Gravesend to Raynham with what they're calling, in quotes, significant uplifts compared to Southeastern High Speed. So total coverage is 26 new miles and 13 updated miles. Now, to be completely honest with you, I don't know this route, but looking at these screenshots, I gotta say I'm pretty blown away. The scenery looks incredible. Love the level of detail in the stations, and with the signage and flowers that we see here in these screenshots, there's a lot going on, and it absolutely looks like quality work. There was one screenshot in particular which shows a station with a taxi lane. Look at the lighting against that building. Wow, that is just gorgeous. So DTG James, who's been assisting with research on this project, mentioned that if you've seen the West Coast Mainline enhancement mods, this is that same team but dialed to 11. Those mods were really impressive, and if they're pushing even further with full control over a route built from scratch, I definitely think this could be something really special. So the class 375/3 is the primary traction here, and Firefly has gone deep on the simulation side. They've implemented proper GSMR support where you can key in your head code at the start of every service and have simulated conversations with the signaler. You'll even hear different voices depending on which signal box you're nearest to. Full guard mode functionality, proper suspension support, and onboard passenger announcements. Yep, they're checking all the boxes here. The class 375/6 is included as well, so you're getting both 3 and 4 car variations with the old AdTrans style headlights. Now, I definitely want to sit with the GSMR implementation here for a second. Simulated signaler conversations with location-aware voices. That is exactly what we need on every route. This should definitely be a standard across all UK routes. But I will say it is great to see a third-party team pushing in that direction when official releases haven't always prioritized that. So Gen 9 consoles are included here, which I guess is good news, though we don't know what the situation with blurry textures will be by the time this releases. So, I still have concerns about that and with core issues, but we can hope this one holds up better. The quality bar Firefly is setting on the art side, at least from these screenshots, would be a shame to lose to texture pull problems. Now, the route map diagram they shared paints a clear picture of what we can expect, so there are a lot of stops. With what I am assuming are a lot of stopping patterns, it seems like this branch line is running along water, so it's probably going to be really scenic. Now, the article states that services run half hourly between Strood and Paddock Wood based on the 2025 working timetable, with extended Tunbridge runs and alternative movements through the day. The class 395 and 465 from Southeastern High Speed will make appearances too, and there's a freight action at Aylesford, Tunbridge West Yard, and Hoo Junction. James even mentioned the occasional rail tour too. So it is going to be scenic, at least based off of what I'm seeing from those who've played this line in TSC, but I definitely think that Firefly is making a very strong first impression here with this, and with it coming in 2026, that happens to also be the line's 170th birthday, apparently. Now up next, NEC New York to Stamford. This is probably the route I'm looking forward to the most right now. We got our first development screenshots, and even though everything is clearly work in progress with, unfinished lighting and placeholder and unfinished assets, I do think that what we are seeing with these screenshots does look really promising. The station modeling is the highlight here. So you're going to be getting 54 miles of track, 24 stations with this route, and also access to both Grand Central Terminal and and New York Penn Station. So Metro North trains head to Grand Central, Amtrak trains head to Penn, and they will diverge at New Rochelle. A big highlight here, there's going to be a lot of variety and a lot of different stopping patterns with the different type of stock and also the different lines that we have. So you'll have local, express, semi-express, and short runs at New Rochelle and Harrison, deadhead position moves. That is exactly what's going to elevate this route. There's also confirmed freight gameplay 2 that we heard about previously. Now it might not be a huge amount, but still having that variety baked in is going to make a difference. Now I need to mention that this is Brandon's final project with Train Sim World. If you're not familiar, Brandon, also known as Cactus Juice within the community, has been responsible for signaling work on several US routes. And whenever he's involved, the signaling is just better. It's like actually good, significantly better, like a night and day difference. Compare Boston to Worcester or the Morristown line to something like New York Trenton, where the signaling fell short. I've talked about this before, but his track record speaks for itself, and knowing that he's handling this signaling here gives me a lot of confidence in how this route will play out. I don't know what the future is going to be like for US content, but I don't think it's going to be as good as some of these projects he's worked on. But I really do hope to be proven wrong, because he has proven to be a pretty important piece to the US content puzzle. That's also part of why I want to support this release. It's going to be his final TSW project, so all that work that he's putting into this route and all the US routes he's done definitely deserves recognition. Now, what I'm hoping to see alongside this release, I want to see updates to the Acela and the ACS 64, passenger announcements, improved sounds, a better horn for the Acela, please. It is god awful. Suspension physics on both, working cruise control on the ACS 64. That's been a lingering issue. Now, I doubt the Acela is gonna get touched since it is a Loco add-on, but it would be a missed opportunity if existing stock isn't brought up to match the route of this caliber. I definitely think this is gonna be up there with Morristown for me, possibly my new top US route, depending on how it comes together. Now up next, we have the DBBR147. So Dovetail announced this locomotive alongside Frankenbahn, which is going to be releasing tomorrow. Or if this video goes up Tuesday, it's releasing around the time you're watching this. Now what caught my attention is that they're already announcing a second timetable, a 2010 era alternative before the base route is even out. So you'll be able to run current day passenger services with the BR147 using Dostos, N-Wagons, and the Wyco. Pretty interesting timing. I've been on the fence about Stuttgart to Heilbronn based on what we've seen in the previews and of course the live stream. It just felt like a route I would pick up on sale rather than at full price. But if there is additional content coming that extends the replay value, I think that changes the calculation. I think the cab modeling in these early screenshots looks pretty solid. Sounds will definitely be a thing to watch as always. And sometimes German stock can fall flat with that if it's not given proper attention. There's another train in game. I'm pretty sure it's really old. It looks just like this one on the outside. I can't remember what the number is, but the sounds are pretty much non-existent, especially within the cab. It's probably one of the worst trains in game. It's horrible. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But in regards to the 147, I think having something else on the horizon might factor into whether I keep the route after reviewing it or opt for a refund. We will just have to see. I need time to think on that, and I'm not gonna have much time to think on that because the route comes out tomorrow and I'm probably gonna start my review process right away. Now up next, ATS shared more details on their upcoming Class 90 for the West Coast mainline. 5 liveries, deep simulation features including a fully operational BIS, working data cord entry panel, realistic neutral section functionality, and multiple working for heavy haul operations with other Class 90s. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. ATS earned a lot of trust with Manchester Airport commuter, at least with me. Now the route does have some FPS issues around the Piccadilly Yard area, some hitching, but beyond that, I do think it's a top tier route. It has great variety, busy timetables. I love the options of having weekday and weekend schedules. Now if they bring that same level of quality to the Class 90, I think this should be more than solid. And just judging from the pictures that we're seeing, I think the modeling looks good. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Now up next, Vector Simulations released a gameplay showcase video for the first Czech route in Train Sim World. Oh boy, this one blew me away. It really surprised me. The scenery looks so different from what we're used to. Even the trees feel unique, like they're not just the same assets recycled across every route. I feel like I see the same tree all the time on every single route in different regions. Watching this video, it almost feels like playing a different game. There's a freshness to it that's just really hard to describe. Lots of different architecture, a completely different atmosphere. The interiors of these trains look and handle completely different from anything else we've seen in TSW. So the trains themselves are running Czech safety systems, so LVZ and LS90, which are vigilance-based systems that can even be affected by interference from high voltage power lines. We've talked on this a bit previously. There's a lot going on with the scenarios as well. We have signaling failures, level crossing failures, coupling operations at Limerick Yard. So we're gonna have 7 scenarios in total, ranging from easy to legitimately challenging. Great variety there. I've touched on this before, but I gotta say third-party content is really grabbing my attention more than Dovetail's own releases right now. And honestly, if Dovetail is leaning into that direction, you know, letting third-party teams from different countries bring their perspectives and expertise, I don't see a problem with it. As long as launches are stable and support is there, this could be a very great thing for the game long term. This, the Tadami line, and the New York Stamford line are the 3 routes that I'm most excited to see arrive, all for different reasons. And they might take some time, but I think based on what we're seeing, the wait looks well worth it. So some quick updates. Frankenbahn Stuttgart to Heilbronn releases tomorrow. We covered this in the week 1 video, so I won't rehash everything here, but keep an eye out for that. If this video goes up Tuesday, it's coming out today. The Christmas 2025 challenges are now live. 3 regional challenges for UK, Germany, and US, each unlocking festive posters and decals. I broke down the structure last week, so definitely check that video if you missed it. The winter survey closes December 14th. We have a couple more days. We did a full breakdown on that, as well as sharing my thoughts, which it was a lot, but we did that separately. Worth filling out and checking out if you haven't already. And week 3 season of reveals is next Monday, December 15th. Dovetail is teasing 3 new add-on announcements and 2 add-on updates, so a lot more coming. They are not slowing down. We're about halfway through, I think now, and we're getting closer to the finale week, so book your trip and get your tickets to the island. So that's week 2. The third-party announcements are the highlight here. Let me know in the comments which of these announcements you are most excited about. Definitely give this video a like if you found this video entertaining or informative. Make sure you are subscribed if you aren't. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Take care, guys, and happy rail simming.